We're also learning more about Emiliano's 20-year-old mother through her own words. Camilia Terry posted a string of videos on YouTube in which she sings about her life in the foster system.
For the first time, I can actually smile about something that I'm happy for, and that's you.
She posted 5 songs and that she said she wrote and recorded. In one of the videos, she says she's been singing since she was 5 and writing songs since she was 10. Again, Camilia Terry has not been charged with a crime, but she is considered a suspect. A rally and vigil has been planned for tomorrow to remember Emiliano. The event is being organized by several local activist groups, but it is open to the public. People can gather at Kossuth Park at East 121st and Shaker Boulevard. The vigil begins at 5:30.
Well, joining us now to give some insight into Camilia Terry as a former foster child and as a mother is the Chief Administrator of Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services, Pat Rideout. And Pat, I thank you so much for being here with us this afternoon. First of all, tell us, how did Camilia Terry become a part of the foster care system?
Camilia's family was involved with the system for quite a long time. So Emiliano was a third-generation child from her family. And Camilia had a tough upbringing that brought her to the attention of the department as a child and brought her into our custody by the time she was a teenager.
And while she was in custody, she had 2 children. Were there any signs when parenting the 2 children that there may have been some stress, there may have been an overload mentally, emotionally?
I think like all teen parents, she had challenges, but while she was a teen in our system, she of course was living in environments with a lot of support with other adults, sometimes with family members, with a series of foster parents. And so there was always a lot of support around her during those years.
Now, as she was singing in her songs about being stressed and once she ages out of the system, which is at the age of 18, what resources were available to her as any foster child is available to them?
She stayed with us beyond the age of 18, and many kids do. When they're in school, we can maintain them in our custody for longer, and she experienced that herself. During those years, we were working closely with her to try to enhance her skills at living independently and give her what she needed to transition into adulthood. Of course, with a couple of kids, she had an awful lot on her plate. And then after she aged out, as we say, and the court terminated our custody of her, she was able to come back to us, which she did some months later, and ask for some help again. And at that time, we provided quite a bit in the way of housing and assistance with education, mental health services, and the like to try to help her succeed as a mom.
Can you tell me when that time period was when she did reach out to the county?
Earlier this year.
And so you have not heard anything from Camilia Terry in the needs of needing help, needing assistance, or feeling like she was overwhelmed to the point that something like this could happen?
We were definitely not expecting this horrible tragedy, but we have been working with her fairly consistently over a period of months this year, yes.
In general, this is not negating the death happening, but you see this type of thing happening with children who go through the foster care system and they come out and they're having a hard time handling reality.
Well, I think kids should grow up in families, and unfortunately in the world we're in, too many kids are growing up in short-term families or no families at all. You know, we do our best to be a good parent to a kid like Camilia, but she grew up with a lot of hardship. It affected her, I'm sure, and she struggled in her teen years. So I think as a community, along with my agency, we have a lot of work to do to try to figure out how to help kids whose own families can't care for them safely to really have a strong family experience so that they're ready to face adulthood as strong parents.
Did she get counseling while she was with the county? Did she get the type of counseling that she would need to handle the stresses that brought her into the system?
She certainly had counseling more than once over the years. Whether it was just what she needed, that is very hard to say.
All right. Pat, we know you have a lot of work to do. We thank you so much for taking time out to talk to us today.